Hi everyone, this is Nick. I'm back with Pro Sports Extra Nick's Picks. Follow me on Twitter at NickPSE. Follow Pro Sports Extra at Pro Sports Extra. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that. Subscribe, download the app. Do all that. I'm back to make some picks for the NFL week number 9 this week coming up. Week 8 was pretty brutal. I went 5-9. But that is exactly why I tell you that this is not gambling advice. It's just me making picks, and I've never put any money on a game, and it's probably a good thing. Anyways, I'm going to do this anyway again. We got another slate of 14 games here. Starting off on Thursday, tomorrow, we have Green Bay. They are playing the 49ers, going to San Francisco. Garoppolo's out, Kittle's out. I know the Packers have a lot of issues with their running backs and COVID, but I'm going to pick the Packers. They're favored by 5.5. I'm going to pick them to win that on Thursday night. They had a pretty bad loss to the Vikings. They looked kind of like they were on cruise control, so I think they need to kind of fire themselves up for this one, but I think they're the better team, and they're the ones with a little bit more in terms of players that are playing and less guys out, even though all their running backs are out. But Aaron Rodgers doesn't really need that, so I'm going to pick the Packers minus 5.5. Next, we have another NFC North matchup between the Lions and the Vikings in Minnesota. Minnesota's favored by 4. I'm going to take Minnesota, even though they have the worst record between the two teams. They beat the Packers. The Lions, I don't know what to think of the Lions. I don't know what to think of the Vikings either, but Dalvin Cook was running wild on last week, 4 touchdowns. It pretty much comes down to Kirk Cousins. Are you going to let him throw or not? I think the Lions did a pretty good job on run defense last week. They need to force Kirk Cousins to throw and contain Dalvin Cook. Can they do that? I'm going to say no. I'm going to pick the Vikings minus 4 here to win that game. Next, we go to Atlanta, where the Broncos are going to face the Falcons. Atlanta is favored by 4. The Broncos had a nice come-from-behind win, but I think I'm going to take the Falcons to win this one. Since firing Dan Quinn, they're 2-1. Their one loss was the last second play, so they've been playing a lot better with the loss of Dan Quinn. So I'm going to take them in this one. I just think they have too many good players, and I don't think the the Broncos can really keep up offensively, even though Drew Lock looked decent at times in the last game. So I'm going to take the Falcons minus 4. Next, we have a pretty good matchup between the Seahawks and the Bills. Seahawks are favored by 3. Both teams have 6 wins. I'm going to take the Seahawks to win, though, favored by 3. You see what the Bills have done the last couple weeks. 6 field goals against the Jets, beating the Patriots by 3. I just think the Seahawks are the better team. I think they're probably one of the best teams in the NFL. I think the Bills are, they're going to win their division. They're going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they have it all there. I think this is a game that Seattle wins, even though they're going across the country to play it. So Seattle minus 3, I'll take that. Next, we have the Bears going to Tennessee to play the Titans. Titans have lost 2 in a row. The Bears have the worst offense I've ever seen, I think, honestly. Tennessee's favored by 5.5. I think I'm going to take the Bears to cover. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. The Bears kept it close with the Saints. I think they're going to keep it close with Tennessee. I think Tennessee's defense has been kind of leaky. I don't think the Bears will necessarily take advantage of that, but they'll at least keep it close, where the 5.5 point spread will come in Chicago's favor, whether they win or lose by less. I think it'll be a close game either way, so I'm going to take Chicago plus 5.5. Next, we have a battle between 2 5-2 teams. The Ravens and the Colts in Indianapolis. Baltimore's favored by 2.5. Um, I'm going to go with the underdog again, home underdog, the Colts. We saw, the Colts win pretty big against the Lions, and Lamar Jackson kind of struggled against Pittsburgh. I think teams are kind of figuring that out, clog the middle, stop the run, make him throw outside the numbers. I think he struggles with that. He has forever since college. Um, I think the Colts kind of know that. I think they're going to win this game. So I'm going to take the Colts plus 2.5. I think the Ravens are struggling a little bit. They need to figure things out. Next, we have the Panthers and the Chiefs. So Kansas City Chiefs are favored by 10.5. And I'm going to take them. They keep having these huge spreads, but they keep making it work. So I'm going to take Kansas City. Carolina's been a pretty, surprise team, some think. McCaffrey's probably coming back this week. But I think it's still too much with the Chiefs. Too much offense. Their defense can get the turnovers and the sacks they need to score more points on offense. So I'm going to take Kansas City here minus 10.5. Now we have another NFC East matchup. New York Giants against the Washington football team. Another bad one, but Washington's favored by 3. I'm going to take Washington. We saw Daniel Jones on Monday Night Football. I don't need to say much about him. I think he kind of speaks for himself. I think Washington's the better team, so I'm going to take him minus 3. Next, we have the Texans and Jaguars, 2 1-6 teams. Texans are coming off a bye. I know that. They're favored by 7. I'm going to take them minus 7. I think after the bye week, Will Fuller didn't get traded. I think, Deshaun Watson, those receivers, Cooks and Stills, I think they have a lot to prove. So I think they're going to win this game pretty handily. Jacksonville's not very good. They're starting, I don't even know who they're starting, Jake Luton or something. Some rookie I've never heard of him at quarterback. So yeah, I don't expect this to be too close. So I'm going to take the Texans here. Next, we have the 4 o'clock games. We have the Las Vegas Raiders. I always mess that up. I'll never get used to that. Against the LA Chargers. Raiders are 4-3. Chargers are 2-5. The Chargers are actually favored by 1. I'm going to take Vegas, though. They're 4-3. They have, they're a tough physical football team. They lost a lot of their offensive line with COVID reasons a few weeks ago, but I don't know if they're getting them back, but I just think that they're going to be the better team in this one. Herbert looks really good for the Chargers, but I don't think they can hang on to a lead as we've seen a couple times this year. So I'm going to take the Raiders plus 1. Now we have the Steelers against the Cowboys. Undefeated Steelers and the Cowboys who are starting, I don't know, it's their 4th quarterback. They're not going to start DiNucci. They already said that. No line on this, not on Yahoo at least. So I'm going to take this, whatever the line is. Same as what I said with New Orleans and the Bears. I think I lost that one last week. But I'm going to take the Steelers no matter what the line is. I think, they'll probably get a shutout, I think. I mean, with the Steelers defense, it's just too good. The Cowboys offense, they have nothing. Their offensive line is all hurt. They're on their 4th quarterback. I don't expect this to be good. So I'll take the Steelers no matter what. Miami Dolphins going to Arizona to face the Cardinals. Tua got his first start last week. He was like 11 for 22 for 92 yards. No rushing yards. They won 28-17, but they had a punt return and a fumble return touchdown. Tua didn't do much. He didn't really show a whole lot, obviously. Cardinals are favored by 5. I think I'm going to take them. Miami going across the country. I think I'm going to take the Cardinals here with Kyler Murray. I think they're coming off a bye. I could be wrong. But I expect them to win that more than 5. Arizona minus 5 I'll take. Now the Sunday night game could be a good one. We have the Saints and the Bucks. Tampa is favored by 5.5, which I will take them at. They didn't cover against the Giants last Monday, but I think this is, a revenge game. The Saints beat them in the first game. I think Tom Brady's got, more things going. Now that he's more comfortable, Antonio Brown might play. That could be something, I guess. But I'm going to take Tampa Bay -5.5. Monday night game, we have the New England Patriots and the New York Jets. Monday night. ESPN can't, they don't give ESPN good games, and I don't blame them. They have a terrible announcing crew. But anyways, back to the game. Jets are 0-8. New England's favored by 7. I'm going to pick the Jets to cover, though, +7. Terrible football team. We know that. They're the worst team. But, Monday night, I think they'll show up and cover at least. New England's not very good either, obviously. They've had some issues and all that. So I think I'm going to take the Jets to cover. So overall I'm 13-14-1 in 2 weeks. Basically 500. Not that good, but didn't pick many upsets this week. Mostly the favorites. Looks like I only have 3 underdogs that I chose. So we'll see how that does. But watch the last video so you can see how I did with my 5-9. It wasn't very good. But that's it for this week. I'll see you next week. Follow me at NickPSE on Twitter. Follow Pro Sports Extra, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Download the new app. Subscribe to this YouTube if you haven't already. And yes, we will see you